to the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I'm Cece, also known as Java Pearl.
I'm Damaris, also known as Damaris Dash Bit Weird.
And we're glad to have you today. I'm knitting today, which I normally don't knit on the podcast, but I'm trying to finish this row so I can show you. Today is Wednesday, December the 18th, 2013, and this is episode 68. That's a lot.
Yes.
Yes. We'd like to say a big hello and welcome back to all of our returning viewers. Thanks for watching us week after week. We really appreciate you and love you. Love? It's hard to make a heart when you have knitting in your hands. And a big hello and welcome to any new viewers. Thanks for giving our podcast a shot. Hope you enjoy the episode. We have quite a bit to talk about, and we have a giveaway and coupon code towards the end of the podcast. So keep watching to find out how to enter and to find out about that. And for another segment of Ask the Geeky Girls. That was fun last week. I enjoyed that. And all of our normal stuff. So we probably should get started.
Now we're going to talk about what's on our needles.
So what's on your needles, Mare?
My Amy Pond scarf from Night Terrors.
Ooh, it's getting long.
Yes, I have 4.5 more stripes to go before I'm halfway to how long I want it to be.
Okay, so this is a pattern you came up with yourself based on the scarf from the episode.
Yes.
What are you knitting it with?
I'm knitting it with Baroka Weekend in the 5926, which is clothesline, 5956, which is swimming hole, and 5963, which is navy colorways.
Okay.
On size US 2s, which are
2.75
yes
mil. So you're about to contact some people though because you need more yarn.
Yes.
And
I should have bought a skein more of these two colors right here, the main body of the scarf.
Yeah, because the light one is just on the ends.
Yes.
So, and they don't sell Baroka Weekend in the UK.
Nope.
So, if any of our viewers have, is it swimming hole and navy?
Yes, 5956 and 5963.
Which is swimming hole and navy. If you have an extra skein of one or both of those that you'd be willing to sell to us, contact us. Because otherwise Damaris is going to contact some people on Ravelry who have it in their stash and see. What we'll probably do is have it shipped to B-Ma, which is my mom. Her name's Becky. She goes by B-Ma. My dad is Gary. He goes by G-Pa. Yeah. We'll probably have them shipped to B-Ma so that she can ship them to both skeins to you together, which will save on postage.
I'll have enough to get halfway.
Yeah.
But then I don't know how much left I'll have.
How big are the balls that you have left?
This is the swimming hole one.
Okay, so you should get more than halfway, but you probably won't have enough. Have you? How much did the skein weigh when it was in the?
100 grams.
Was it 100 grams? Should be on the back. Yeah, 100 grams.
Yes.
So I doubt seriously that is 50 grams. But you should get quite a bit. So maybe somebody who's watching did a project with this and has some partial skeins. Because that would work too, because you're probably not going to need a whole nother full skein. You'll be able to weigh what's left. When you get to halfway, you should weigh the balls to see exactly how much more you need to see if partial skeins would work. So, all right. Well, it's looking good. You're making good progress on it. Yay. Well, I have a few things on the needles. One of them is another pair of seamless Saloma slippers. This is the pattern by Megan Williams and Susan Busby. And I'm doing this in Sirdar Bonus DK in the Flint colorway on US 6s, which is 4 mil. And this is actually the second pair out of this same skein, because I had more than half of the skein left, so I'm making a second pair for the hubs. You'll see the first pair in just a few minutes. and he's liking those. So the next thing on my needles is this, made with this scrumptious, yummy goodness. Scrumptious yummy. That is Madeline Tosh DK Twist in the Molly Ringwald colorway. Oh my gosh, it's so soft. I got this in a swap, and I'm just in love with it. So I am knitting the Rosewater hat by Tin Can Knits. This part was on US 4's 3.5 mil. I can't go any further on this until I finish the Hubs Seamless Soloma Slippers because I need these needles to knit.
It's incentive.
So it's my incentive. So I've done as far as I can on the Rosewater hat until I have those other needles. But I am loving this yarn, and the pattern is really nice, and it's knitting up so lovely, and I can't wait to knit it and wear it. So that will give me incentive to get this done. I'm done with the ribbing on this slipper, and I've started on the decreases, so I'll finish this tonight and probably start the second one of the pair tonight. So hopefully maybe tomorrow or the next day I can work some more on my Rosewater. And then for spinning, I have finished spinning the 50 grams of hand-blended British BFL and Merino roving that I got from Hilltop Cloud. And so I have 3 little cops of it. And I can't decide whether I'm going to spin it, whether I'm going to apply it 2-ply or 3-ply. But I finished spinning it this week, and I just need to ply it now. So I probably will do it 2-ply, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm thrilled that how those came out, so I will continue working on those and get it done. So hopefully I'll have it done for the podcast next week. I just have to motivate myself to apply it, which I haven't done. So, and that's everything that's on our needles / spindle. Well, actually, it's not technically on my spindle since I finished spinning it. So I think we're ready for the next segment.
Oh, and now we're talking about her finished projects.
So I have 3 FOs this week. So the first is the thing that I mentioned in the last segment, a pair of seamless Soloma slippers for the Hubs. US 6's 4 mil in the Sirdar Bonus DK in the Flint colorway. And he's actually already worn these and washed them once. And he's really liking them. So I know he'll like the other pair that I'm working on right now. I also knit the Hubs a hat this week, and actually I'm calling it the Hubs Hobbit Viewing Hat. The real name of it is the Techno Slash by Katie Fracker, done on US 8's 5 mil and US 9's 5.5 mil in the Robin Chunky in the silver colorway. I named it the Hubs Hobbit Viewing Hat because I knit the ribbing of it down here at the bottom while we rewatched The Hobbit... An Unexpected Journey. Well, we rewatched that over the weekend, and then I knit the body of the hat and the decreases while we went and saw The Hobbit, The Desolation of Smaug. And I would put it on to show you, but it's still damp from blocking. So, but it looks really good. It's got a good slouch to it, and the Hubs tried it on and liked it as well. So, he's happy for a second hat. And then my third finished object I'm actually wearing. So this is the Zuzu's Petals by Karina Spencer. I knitted on US 6's 4 mil in Adrafil Knit Call in the Fantasy Novel colorway. And it looks like a little shawlette, but it's actually a cowl. It connects in the back. So you just put it on right over your head. And the top is mostly stockinette with some eyelets down the middle here. And I think it has eyelets around the top too. And then the rest of it, once you connect it, you knit that part flat, but then you connect it and do this lace work. And then block it out so that you have some points. And I really like how the yarn knit up. I think it was beautifully done. I need to take pictures and put it on my project page. I have not done that yet. But let me see if I can hold it closer so y'all can see some of the detail. So I really, really like how it turned out, and I have some yarn left that I probably will pair with something else and do some kind of hat, because I just love how the yarn knit up so much. So, and this was a really fast knit. I cast it on, I think maybe like on Friday, and finished it Sunday or something. So it's a super fast knit. So that's my Zuzu's Petals. And that's everything I've finished. All right, on to the next segment. And now it's time for Yummies, my favorite part of our show. What are Yummies, Mare?
Yummies are our current favorite things we like, things we want to talk to you about.
Things we want to share. Things that are yummy. All right, so you want to start?
Sure. Okay, BBC released the official Time of the Doctor trailer last week. I can't remember exactly what day.
It was after Wednesday. Well, it may have been on Wednesday, but it was after we recorded last week.
Yeah.
So.
I'm not ready.
I cried.
The beginning part of Clara's voiceover thing sounds sort of like a poem. And
Yeah.
11th hour reference. No thank you. Goodbye.
So we'll put that video in the show notes so that you can see it if you want to see it. Also this week, actually it was just yesterday, BBC One put out another Christmas Day trailer, and there was a clip from Doctor Who in it.
Clara needs the Doctor's help cooking Christmas dinner, but he's being shot up by Cybermen. But Clara doesn't see why they can't just do both.
Yep. And there was also some good clips from Call the Midwife. So that'll be good. We'll put a link to that in the show notes as well. We've been rewatching some more Doctor Who, especially over the weekend, and I cried a lot.
A Good Man Goes to War is such a great episode.
I know, it made me
It's
cry.
so pretty, and the cot, which is on display at the Doctor Who Experience, which is one of the main reasons I want to go, is so pretty.
I know, and then the thing, and they find out that River is their daughter, and
I want to make the prayer leaf.
yeah, it's so pretty. There was a really very well done fan-made mashup of Sherlock meeting the Doctor, so Wholock.
It was by the same guy or girl or whoever who did the fake Doctor Who 50th trailer that many people thought was real for a while. It was under this one and the fake 50 trailer are just under a YouTube named John Smith.
Yeah, so we're going to put a link to it in the show notes, and it was really, really cool and really well done. But then the even cooler thing was he does a kind of a behind-the-scenes breakdown thing of how he did it.
Which clips he used and the filters.
Yeah, the editing and everything. So that is really, really, really cool. So somebody shared it. I can't remember who. Somebody shared it on.
Fadel.
Oh, was it Fradley?
Yeah.
I think that's how you say it. I'm sorry if I'm butchering your name. Posted it in our group this week too, and we'd seen it already, but I was so excited because it's just so well done.
My dad was creeped out by the lips. That's all he said about it.
Well, yeah, because they had to modify.
The best part of the one was the one with the Doctor snapping, and it was from a sort of turned angle, and I thought, there's only one clip of the Doctor snapping from that angle, and it's from the 11th hour, when Matt had the super floppy hair and the original tweed jacket and the red bow tie.
Yeah.
And he made it to look like the Series 7B one.
Yeah. So, that was really, really cool. So, we bought a puzzle that we're going to do over the holiday break. So, we ordered this online, so we couldn't see all of it when we ordered it. The theme of it is the Bizarre Bookshop. So, all of the books on it are a play on real book titles.
Well, some of them are the same.
Yeah. But my favorite part is right down here in the pink section. Can you point to it?
Maybe. Right here.
There are knitting needles and yarn.
Yes, and one of the books in this section is called Much Ado About Knitting. That's not helping.
Oh, there, it's right there. the corner.
I'm trying to point, but my finger was backwards.
But there's all kinds of cool stuff on it. We haven't opened it yet because Damaris is finishing school this week. But it's an 1,000-piece puzzle. How big is it?
It said approximately.
Oh, approximately 50 by 70 centimeters. So it's bigger than our coffee table. So we'll have to do it on our kitchen table. But we will open that and get that started after Damaris finishes school this week. So, you had something you wanted to share?
Yes, I made a new WordPress blog for crafty and costume things that I do. And the one post I put on it is stuff I want to do in the new year.
And what's the name of the blog?
Damaris is a bit crafty.
.wordpress.com.
Yes.
So we'll put a link to it in the show notes. But it's really interesting, and I hope you will keep up writing on it.
Yes. Oh, but something else I was going to say about The Good Man Goes. No, Let's Kill Hitler. We also watched that one.
Oh, yeah, we did.
I was going to say I really liked Mel's dress.
Oh, yeah, it was a really nice. It was very pretty. Okay, so we mentioned in FOs that we rewatched The Hobbit: An Unexpected Journey. So we did that on, was that Saturday?
Yes.
On Saturday, because we had purchased tickets to go see the new movie, The Hobbit: The Desolation of Smaug, in the cinema yesterday, on Tuesday, and that was part of Damaris's Christmas present. So, we can talk about it, but if you haven't seen it and don't want to be spoiled, you might want to fast forward. We're not really giving away, you're not going to give away any plot stuff, are you really?
I don't know.
I don't know what we're going to say.
Who knows?
If you've read the books, you probably know.
The one book.
The book. Sorry. I'm thinking Lord of the Rings included with it makes lots of books. So, okay.
Lee Pace was very good.
He
was
was
very unnerving.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's actually really super tall in real life.
I don't know how tall he is. That would be interesting.
I don't know how tall Richard Armitage is, too, but the special effects they made him look super tall.
Yeah. I really, really loved Lee Pace in Pushing Daisies. In fact, I saw the place where we watch our TV shows, they have Pushing Daisies. So, we may have to have a Pushing Daisies rewatch.
All hail King Pie Maker.
Oh, I loved that show.
Benedict did a good...
Benedict.
Oh, he got to speak one of the languages. I don't know which language it is, but he got to speak another language as the necromancer.
I saw an interview with him that he said that doing the voice of Smaug made his throat bleed because it was such a harsh thing that he had to do with his voice. He was brilliant. Brilliant.
Really
and Martin was amazing in the scenes with Martin and, with Bilbo and Smaug in the castle with all the gold. I leaned over to Damaris and said, "It's okay, Martin. Benedict won't hurt you. It'll be all right. Because y'all are friends. He won't hurt you."
I had no idea Benedict was a dragon.
Yeah, Benedict's a dragon, and that's his secret identity.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
And Stephen Fry was in it. I forgot Stephen Fry was
I didn't know Stephen Fry was going to be in it either. And he was in the British show Kingdom that I watched. He was a lawyer,
but
a solicitor.
He's been in lots of other things.
Oh yeah, he's been in tons of stuff.
He's narrated Harry Potter audiobooks and I think Winnie the Pooh audiobooks. And he was in the 2010 Alice in Wonderland.
Wow. He's been in a lot of stuff.
Yes, lots and lots of things.
The scenery, of course, was just gorgeous. And
New Zealand!
The special effects were amazing. And when we were coming up close on when I knew it was going to end, and I was wondering where in the story they were going to end it. And I'm like, I don't want to wait another year for the ending. I mean, I know what happens, but I don't want to wait another year. So, anyway. It was really, really good. We really enjoyed it. So, anything else you want to say about it?
New Zealand.
New Zealand.
I saw Peter Jackson.
Yes, you did. In one of the scenes.
In the beginning scene.
Yeah.
He's eating a carrot or a turnip or something.
All right. I guess we are to GGK Crafty Pad. So, it's never too late to join. Most pictures are posted on Instagram, and that's where we pick our favorites from. But you're welcome to post from other places. And we'll be coming out with the new list for January, I guess sometime next week, maybe early in the week. I can't remember. I have it on my to-do list for someday next week. So be watching for the January list coming out. We'll take a pause right here and show you
one of each of our pictures and 3 pictures by other people that we liked.
Yes, so here they come. So those were great pictures. I had a really hard time choosing this week. There were so many good pictures, and some of the pictures we chose as our favorites, the person who had taken them had also taken some other really great pictures, and so it was so hard to choose. I wanted to pick 7 zillion, but I can't do that. So keep taking those pictures and sharing. We really love being a part of y'all's lives, seeing what you're doing every week. So we don't really have much to talk about Scotland this week. We went to a knitting club on Monday night, but that's about it. The next meeting of the Guild of the Spinning Guild is not until January the 18th. So we've been pretty much homebodies other than that and seeing the movie yesterday, so not a lot to talk about that. So I think we're ready to move on to the next segment.
Now we're going to talk about what we're reading and watching.
So you've finally started reading
TikTok of Oz.
Yes, by L. Frank Baum.
Mm-hmm.
What chapter are you on?
I don't know.
You need to check that because I've stopped at chapter 15 to wait for you to catch up. So.
Yes.
I finished reading Jesus Feminist by Sarah Bessey. I didn't want it to end, so I have dragged it out for several weeks because it was so good. I just didn't want it to end. Sorry, I thought I turned my ringer off. Oops, it is off now. I started reading this week Girl Meets God by Lauren Winner, and it's been really interesting so far. It's her spiritual autobiography. And then I forgot to mention that we started this back at the beginning of the month, but I thought I would put it in here now. This year for Advent, we are reading a book together as a family, and it's called The Greatest Gift, Unwrapping the Full Love Story of Christmas by Anne Voskamp. And Anne is the one who wrote the book that changed my life called 1,000 Gifts. And so we take turns each day reading out loud, and it takes us probably, about 10 or 15 minutes because there's a section for each day, and so we're really enjoying that. So that's what we've been reading recently. So I guess we're ready to talk TV.
You're watching season 3 of Criminal Minds.
Yes, so we have the new guy.
Yes.
What's his name?
Bossy.
Yeah. Yes. We haven't watched much of it this week, just a little bit. So, the Hubs and I finished watching season 3 of Chuck, and now we're watching season 4 with his mom in it, and Ellie is pregnant, his sister. So we've been watching that. We're also watching season 2 of The West Wing, so we're really enjoying that. Okay, you want to talk about... I'll turn it up a little bit.
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. 1.10 The Bridge.
Yes.
Okay, this is the mid-season finale. So, you got J. August Richards back.
Yes.
And then the end scene on the bridge.
Yeah. That was like...
Dun, dun, dun. And we have to wait.
Until January the 7th.
Dun, dun, dun.
So at least it's not super long that we have to wait. NCIS, we watched episode 11.10, Devil's Triad. And this was the storyline about Gibbs and Fornell and their ex-wife, Diane, because they've both been married to her. And Fornell and Diane's daughter. And it was just a lot of good comedy while also dealing with a case. So I just thought it was a good, fun episode. We enjoyed that. There was actually a new episode on last night, episode 11.11, Homesick, and it's the Christmas episode, so we will watch that. Probably not tonight, probably tomorrow, because we have something tonight. We're also watching season 5 of NCIS LA. This week, Arrow, episode 2.9, Three Ghosts. It kind of was a play on... Dickens' A Christmas Carol. But we found out that Oliver's friend from the island, the guy, I can't remember his name, isn't really dead, and he's out to get revenge on Oliver. And at the very end, Barry becomes the Flash because he's struck by lightning. So we're taking a little hiatus from that. It'll be back on with episode 2.10, Blast Radius, on the 15th of January. You're up next.
Elementary, 2.11 Internal Audit. Okay, Sherlock's going to be a sponsor.
Yes.
And Alfredo.
Yeah, it was fun to see him back.
Yeah. And then Marcus got a job offer from the Deputy Commissioner in the Demographics Unit. Don't do it, Marcus. Don't do it, Marcus.
Well, I wonder if they will really go ahead and move him over there for like a short period, like for him to recover from the injury, being shot, and then have some kind of case where he finds something and then brings in the team on it and everything. You know what I mean?
Marcus.
So, when is the next episode?
On the 2nd of January, 2.12, The Diabolical Kind. And guess who's back?
From outer space?
Moriarty's back.
What?
I told you.
I don't remember that you told me.
I did tell you.
I think I remember you telling me Moriarty was coming back, but I didn't know when. Oh my gosh, okay. We're also still watching Once Upon a Time in Wonderland. We're watching season 1 of that. And then we're watching The Big Bang Theory season 7. It was such a good episode this week. It was about what would happen if Sheldon had never been a part of their lives. But then also, Sheldon was present at the home birth of his sister's baby. I can't remember if it was a boy or a girl. But it was just a funny episode, but still also really sweet, too. So that was pretty cute. All right, you want to talk about the next thing?
You talk about the next thing you wrote.
Oh, because I wrote it, Atlantis 1.11
Yes.
Hunger Pangs. The strategically placed chicken. That was the funniest part of the whole episode. He was turning into a werewolf. And had a strategically placed chicken when he woke up the next morning. It was funny. That's all I wrote about it. The next up is episode 1.12. And it is part 1 of the 2-part Series 1 finale. It comes on this Saturday, the 21st, Touched by the Gods, Part 1. But we do know that Atlantis has been picked up for Series 2. So, it will be back. All right, you talk about the next thing. Oh my gosh, it was so ridiculous.
It was so ridiculous, but that's what made it fun. Psych the Musical. yesterday. We watched it.
Yes.
Yesterday.
It was ridiculous.
It was ridiculous.
Ridiculous. Oh my gosh.
So Sean and Gus have a case where with Yang again, which I think she was, I don't remember what season she was in, but she was a serial killer. She was deranged.
Yes, very deranged.
Yes, and they sang in the episode.
Yeah.
And Gus wanted to be a Jamaican inspector man.
Because it was the whole thing was based around a musical about Jack the Ripper. It was ridiculous. It was ridiculous. Oh my gosh. And when they got Carlton to sing, oh my gosh.
I've heard it both ways. Your way and the right way.
It was ridiculous. Season 8 of Psych starts on January the 8th. We're still watching Once Upon a Time, Season 3, and it was the mid-season finale this week, so it won't be back until March. Oh, and Once Upon a Time in Wonderland as well. That was a mid-season finale. It won't be back till March. I cried. Even though I'm really thinking the show's very predictable, I have to say I did not expect what happened at the end of the episode with them having to go back to where they came from and their memories being wiped again, and Regina can't see Henry and Rumpel supposedly dying with his father. I'm sure they'll all get to come back together. They're going to figure it out some way. And at the very end, Emma and Henry together, and Hook knocks on the door and she doesn't remember him. I cried a lot. Even though the show's so predictable. Except for they got me. I didn't expect that to happen. And then the other thing is How I Met Your Mother Season 9. We're still watching. And
Were they singing?
Were they singing? No, they did a rhyming episode a few episodes ago. No, but they were doing, Marshall met, Ted's wife-to-be, even though Ted doesn't know that yet.
I thought I heard someone singing.
I'm trying to remember if there was any singing. There might have been some, but it wasn't something that stuck in my mind. But anyway, so that's all the TV. So we probably should move on to the next segment.
And now we're going to talk about our December, January, Winter Wonderland Cal.
Yes. So it started on December 1st and it goes through January 31st. And it's any project you knit, crochet, weave, or spin that you can convince us is winter related. Whether it's by its use, so like hat or scarf or mittens or sweater, or by the colors, whether it's like blue or white or red or green or whatever, or colorway name, or if you can convince us, it counts. We will have at least one prize, which currently is Linda M. Noble, who is Linda M. Noble on Ravelry, donated a Ravelry giftable pattern up to $7. But we'll probably have some more prizes beyond that. So we are now up to 33 entries so far. Do you want to say who entered projects this week?
Sure. A1 Dahlin, who is Ashley, Sharona the Mom, who is Sharon, Linda M. Noble, who is Linda, Leaner, who is Eileen, Dragonfly7673, who is Vicky, Evil Twin 2, who is Rebecca, Elle McCall, who is Linda, Phoenix Fire, who is Tracy, Apple 380, who is Jamie, and
I think it's Zelator,
who is Christine.
So great job, y'all. So keep on crafting, and we are enjoying seeing your projects. In fact, I think I added some things to my queue based on projects that were done this week. Yep. All right. It's time for the review. Here we go. All right, so now we're going to do a review. So our friend Claire, we met her in our knitting group on Monday nights. And on Ravelry, she's Knits for Clips Cap. I think that's how you would say it. I'm sorry, Claire, if I just butchered your Ravelry name. But your name is Claire. I got that part right. So, Claire just released in this last week a ebook called Sock Anatomy. Dissecting Socks, Heels, and Toes. And that's her sweet baby. This book is amazing. So she starts out by introducing how she thought she would never knit socks, and then she ended up knitting socks. And then she does a getting starting section where she talks about selecting the right materials to knit socks. So she talks about yarn, she talks about your needles, metal or wooden needles, magic loop, sharp points, extra things you'll need. And then...
You've got a funny color.
Huh?
You've got a funny color. You've got a funny color.
Yes. Oh, we've gone a funny color. I was like, what are you saying? Yes, it's because I keep holding the thing up, and I'm about to hold it up again.
Okay.
So then she talks about sock construction.
There, that's...
Now we're normal color. Sorry, it's because I'm holding up this bright thing in front of it. She talks about knitting socks top down or toe up. She talks about different types of heel construction, whether afterthought heel, short row heel, heel flap. She talks about different ways of doing the toes. And then she has these brilliant diagrams that explain the different types. So there's the afterthought heel. Oops, I'm turning on the volume. Sorry. Go away, volume. This one, oops, I went too far. Yeah, that's the afterthought heel still. There's heel flap top down. There's heel flap toe up. Short row heel top down. Short row heel toe up. And then she talks to us about the designs. This book has 9 sock patterns. Well, it will have 9 sock patterns. Right now, if you purchase it, it has 5 sock patterns in it. 5. And then in January, she will release the other 4 sock patterns. So she gives you a brief description about the different designs. I love the fact that she mixes and matches things. So you have several options of toe up, several options of top down, several options of afterthought heel, several options with short row heel, heel flaps, different types of toes, lace work, cable work, color work. So there's a sock pattern that'll work for anybody. The fun thing, though, is these are all baby sock patterns. So you can try these different types of socks to find what works best for you, without committing to knitting a huge pair of socks for an adult. But the other really fun thing is I could easily convert these patterns from baby socks into an adult sock size. So that's really nice. She does a sock guide giving size options for from birth to, I think it's through 3 years old, and also talks about pattern foot versus plain foot for babies and what might be preferential. She does a technique section where she talks about different ways of casting on and different ways of finishing, and includes videos and tutorials that she recommends. And then we get into the abbreviations, and she gives you abbreviations for the whole patterns, and then we get to the sock patterns. So this first one is Flexor, and it's an afterthought heel sock. And the fun thing is she does this pattern both top down and toe up. both with the afterthought heel, so you can choose which way you want to do it. Next one is, I'm sorry if I'm butchering any of these pattern names. I'm trying not to, but I hope I'm saying them right. The next one is Tarsi, and it's a textured sock knit from the top down with a heel flap with a round heel and a round toe, also known as the French heel and toe. The other really nice thing about this is she not only writes the instructions, but also charts them. So it's a good way, if you're not real familiar with charts, of learning to read charts on a fairly small project. The next pattern is called Planum. It's a toe-up sock with a rounded toe and heel cuff, and you can either leave the cuff just ribbed, or you can do a picot bind off on it. I think those are just adorable. What little girl would not love to wear those? With the cute little picot bind off. And then the next pattern, I love the name, Phalanges. I'm not trying to hide this from Damaris, I'm just trying to keep it from doing that in my classes. Phalanges, it's toe up with a simple lace pattern. It's a short row heel, and it finishes with a picot hem. And then we have, oh, there's a better picture of the Phalanges. And then we have the Bursa, which is a top-down sock with lace columns and garter stitch. It's a variation on the short row heel using garter stitch and a standard toe. And then she ends the book with talking about color spun, which is the yarn that she used to knit these socks and design them. And then she talks about her testers and everything and how to contact her. I am totally in love with the, which one is it? I'm trying to get back to it. Trying to find it. Hold on. My Kindle's being persnickety. Let's see if I can get back in there. The textured one. I think I am going to modify it to do it for myself because it's so lovely. And I'm really excited to see the other four. My Kindle's misbehaving. To see the other 4 sock patterns that are coming out in January. She was working on one of them at Knit Group Monday night, and it's really, really cute. So this is a really great book if you have never knit socks before and want to experiment, or if you're a seasoned sock knitter and want to try a technique you may not have tried before. It's just really well done. I'm very, very inspired by it, and to possibly try some techniques I have not tried, even though I have knit lots of pairs of socks and designed several pairs of socks. There's still some techniques that I have not used, so I think I might be trying some of these and probably modifying some of them to knit them for myself. So thank you so much, Claire, for sending us that review copy. Claire has donated a copy of the book for one of our viewers. So we're going to be doing a giveaway in our Ravelry group, and we will be asking the question. I've come up with a question.
Okay.
Good. We're going to be asking the question of, what is your favorite way to knit a sock? So that leaves it wide open for you to tell us whatever you want to tell us. You can talk about that you like to knit toe up or cuff down. You can tell us that you love to knit with afterthought heels, or you prefer short row heels. You can tell us that you love to use self-striping, or you love to use variegated. You can tell us that you love to knit just a plain vanilla sock or a highly textured or patterned sock. You can tell us whatever you want to tell us. What is the perfect sock for you to knit? And we will be drawing for a winner of this ebook on our next week's episode. In addition, Claire has given us a coupon code. So if you cannot wait to see if you win, or if you think this might be the perfect Christmas gift for someone, you can use the coupon code and purchase it. This coupon code is good for 20% off the ebook. The normal price is £9. That is £1 per pattern. That's nothing. That's brilliant. But with the coupon code, you'll get 20% off, which will bring it down to £7.20, which I'm not sure how much that is in American dollars. But Ravelry is so wonderful, it'll convert it for you. So, this coupon code is is valid until the end of December 2013, and that code is Geeky Girls, the number 1. So GeekyGirls, the number 1. So let's show Claire some love and take a look at her patterns and purchase the ebook and enter the giveaway, and can't wait to see who wins it next week. Great job, Claire. She did good. All right, on to the next segment.
Now it's time for Ask the Geeky Girls.
So we posted a thread in our Ravelry group where you can post any question that you want for us to answer. It can be knitting related, it can be Scotland, it can be homeschooling, it can be health, it can be designing, it can be whatever you want to ask us, and as long as we're comfortable answering it, we will answer it on air. We're just taking one per week and answering them. So, Damaris, you want to read the question that we got this week?
Sure. Kelly Cron, who is Kelly from Texas.
And we know Kelly because I went to college with her. Yeah. Okay.
She asked, I've blocked a few things before, but I've just dampened them with water and used a few pins to hold it in place. As my work has improved and I've started using higher quality yarns with natural fibers, I've started hearing about soaking and blocking finished items. Can you explain this process and any added benefits to me?
All right. I will say that I'm not the expert on this, but I will just share from my own experience. I did not block stuff when I first started out. I really didn't see the point and didn't really know what the point was. However, in the last couple of years, I've realized, yeah, there is a point to it. A lot of times when you soak and when you block a yarn, the yarn will expand and grow. Now, that can be a problem if you're making a fitted item, which is why it is important to swatch and then wash the swatch and pin it out and block it the same way that you would the finished object, so that you know what the yarn is going to do when you're done. Because it would be a shame to knit a very nice fitted sweater for yourself, and then once you wash it the first time, it suddenly fits your husband. So that's one important reason to block. Do you know what that beep was for? That beep was to remind us that it is now 3 p.m. and today's Geeky Girls Knit Crafty Photo a Day prompt is 3 o'clock. So we need to take a photo. So shall I take a photo of us? What if I take a photo of us podcasting? So here we go. Now I have my GGK Crafty Pad photo, and I will post it as soon as we finish recording. I knew that I would forget, though, if I did not set an alarm. And so thus, I set the alarm.
I thought you turned your volume off.
Well, the volume is off, but the alarm still goes off if the alarm is set.
Okay.
It's 3 o'clock.
What were we talking about?
We needed a picture. Okay. We were talking about blocking. So, depending on different types of fiber, you just don't know what they're going to do when they get wet. So, that's one important reason why to block something. If you're doing a lace work project, a lot of times when you're knitting it, when I knit this Zuzu's Petals this week, when I finished knitting it, it was kind of all, and you couldn't see the lace pattern at all. So I put it into soak in lukewarm water with just a tiny dab of dish soap. Some people use hair conditioner, especially if the yarn is really rough, like some natural fibers can be. There are some products available on the market that are specifically for soaking knitwear in order to block it. So there's different options that you can use. I typically just use a little dab of dish soap. And I put it in to soak for a smaller item like this. I typically only do for about 15 minutes or so. If it's a sweater or something, I usually leave it in for longer. I usually leave it in for about 30 to 40 minutes. And then once it's done soaking, I gently squeeze the water out because we don't want to wring our knitwear because it can affect the yarn. It can pull on it. Some people, once they've kind of squeezed the water out, put it into a towel and roll it to try to squeeze some more of the water out. I usually don't do that because I usually can squeeze enough water out to be able to lay it out. And then I don't have a special blocking mats. You can buy specifically made for blocking mats, or a lot of people use the foam squares that are that kids play with. They can like attach the squares together, and they're made out of foam to pin in. You want to make sure and use rust-proof blocking pins so that you don't end up with rust all over your brand new hand knit item. So I usually, though, just lay it out on a towel on the floor and then I pin. I typically don't put pins in if it's just like the Hubs hat that I finished this week. It has no pins in it. It's just laying there blocking out just by itself. This I did pin because we wanted to expand the lace so that you can see the detail. So I put pins in at all the points, and you can see how at these different spaces it has the points around the cowl. I haven't done any extreme lace work like a big lace work shawl or something, but if you're doing that, there are wires you can buy to put into your shawl so that they have straight lines when they're blocking. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. That's my experience. You will have a much better, natural fibers are going to block a lot better than acrylic. I have used a steam iron to steam block acrylic yarn before, but you have to be extremely careful because it can burn the yarn, the steam on the acrylic yarn. So you have to be extremely careful in how you do that so that you don't ruin a project by trying to steam block it. I think that's everything I can think of. Like I said, I'm not an expert. That's just what works for me and what my experience has been. Your mileage may vary. So, I hope that's helpful. If you have follow-up questions, feel free to post them in the episode thread this week, and we will do our best to answer them. You have anything to say about blocking? That yarn that you used from the Wool Festival, you soaked it with conditioner to help soften it, and it really did make a difference. Yeah. Yep. So stay tuned next week for another Ask the Geeky Girls question. On to the next thing. All right, we have come to the end of the show. You may have noticed in the Ravelry group that we did start a thread for the Ravel Linux, but it is locked right now. That's because we're still working on the behind-the-scenes details, and a big part of that is waiting for the committee to release the categories. So we are working on that behind the scenes, and that will be our CAL in February, because Winter Wonderland Cal continues through the end of January, and then February will be Ravelinix. And then we are working on Cal's for after that. Next week, we normally record on Wednesdays. Do you know what next Wednesday is?
Christmas.
We won't be recording.
It's 1 week until Christmas.
It's 1 week till Christmas.
It's 1 week until Christmas.
It's okay. It'll be alright.
But Matt.
I know, but Matt. So we won't be recording next Wednesday because it's Christmas. So our current plan is to record on Thursday the 26th. That gives you an extra day to enter to win the copy of Claire's ebook. So how about them apples? So don't look for an episode from us next Wednesday. We will most likely release it on Thursday. I think that's all the announcements. You want to tell them where to find us online?
You can find us at geekygirlsnit.blogspot.com. There are links to everywhere else we are online. Mm-hmm. YouTube, Facebook, iTunes, Twitter, Ravelry, Instagram, my crafty blog, etc.
Yep. And I think that's it. We wish y'all a very, very Merry Christmas. We hope that your holiday is lovely and full of special time with family and friends and love and joy and hope and peace and all those lovely Christmas things.
Dad, to rest you very gentle, Ben.
And lots of Christmas songs, which Damaris tends to serenade us with. Yes. And we hope that you get all of your Christmas gifts finished crafted.
Yes.
Otherwise, give them an IOU with a ball of yarn. It works. And we will talk to y'all next week. Happy knitting. Love y'all. Why are you giving them a oval?
I'm not. It's a sideways heart.
Sideways.
So they can stretch their necks. Like, oh, it's a heart.
Oh, it's a heart.